Episode 19. You are responsible. The moment Serena opened the door, the noise outside disappeared. Hearing the person had become silent, Serena was even more certain that it was an intruder. However, she could not go out at this point. If this intruder was a woman, that was fine. However, what if it was a man? Closing the door, Serena locked the door and leaned her back against it. 1 second, 2 seconds, several minutes had passed, and Serena felt a bit cold. She never wore shoes in the shower. As the water became cold, she was freezing. However, since the intruder knew that she had already noticed him, he should have been gone. Carefully opening the door, Serena saw a strong chest immediately. Not expecting someone to appear in front of her face, Serena let out a cry and stepped back. However, she slipped and fell back immediately. When Serena thought she was about to be injured, a strong arm pulled her back. Serena then fell forward instead, screaming. In the chaos, she was trying to grab anything she could. Losing her balance, her face was buried in something warm. The moment her skin touched it, it suddenly became even warmer. Not realizing what was in front of her, Serena felt relieved for not falling. However, as she let out a sigh of relief, the thing in front of her became harder. "So horny?" A low voice sounded above her head, with obvious anger and arousal. Serena froze, looked up, and suddenly saw the dark pupils. However, there were flames in those eyes this time, as if they could burn her alive. Serena then realized that her hands were holding his narrow waist, holding his bottom between her arms. From his angle, he could clearly see her lips parted with surprise, and her skinny shoulders. The warm lighting in the bathroom added an aura to her body. As she looked up, her upper body shook a little. He suddenly felt an unbearable heat rising from his crotch. His mouth dry, he was reminded of the fantastic feeling of the other night, by the blue and purple marks on her body. Damn it! This woman was seducing him again! His member incredibly stiff, Jake looked down with his burning eyesight. Shocked by the desire in his look, Serena stepped back immediately, blushing. I did not mean to do that, Serena wanted to explain, but saw his gaze moving down. Ah! She was naked. Covering her breasts, she then quickly tried to cover her private part with another hand. Serena was embarrassed and mad at the same time. Feeling his gaze, Serena cried and turned around, facing him with her back. "What are you trying to cover?" Jake's voice was incredibly hoarse. "I have seen whatever there is." His words made her blush even more. "You initiated it last night, and you are now trying to play hard to get, huh?" Serena's nails dug into her skin as she clenched her fists. "I did not!" "You did not?" Jake was obviously incredulous. His tone and his look clearly indicated that he was still that arrogant person. He thought of himself as a god, controlling everything indifferently. However, only toward her, he was so mean and contemptuous. Feeling better, Serena looked back, her eyes red. "You are the one who peeped at me in my shower. Mr. Robinson, don't you think you are being shameless?" "Peep?" Jake walked inside, took her arm, his dark pupils full of contempt. "Did you not try to lure me inside, and then to your bed? What are you trying to pretend?" "I did not!" She did not mean to do that, but there was no way Jake would believe her. He picked her up abruptly. Serena cried out. Before she had any time to react, She was thrown onto the only bed in the room. He approached her with a cold smile.
Do you remember what I said this morning?
This morning.
Do you know what a lawful wife means? A lawful fuck toy.
Lawful fuck toy? Serena's heart trembled. Sadness was overwhelming. Struggling with her arm and legs, she growled with her eyes bloodshot. Don't touch me, Jake!
Stop acting! This will only disgust me.
His sarcasm was like a dagger, piercing Serena's heart. She could no longer hold back her tears, struggling harder. Looking up, Serena suddenly sneered in an incredibly low voice. Then you don't feel disgusted? Fucking a woman like me? Jake paused and looked down. A woman like me does not deserve to have your baby. Isn't that right? That was what he had said with his own voice. However, Jake chuckled and held her legs down, parting her knees with his.
The pill you took is effective for 48 hours. In 48 hours, I will not impregnate you most likely. Would you like to try?
Serena stared, her eyes wide. How did he know that she took the pill? Jake approached her. It was less than half an inch between their noses. Her eyelashes fluttered, looking extremely shocked. Jake lowered his voice and said,
You are responsible to take care of what you have started.
Serena wanted to say something, but was stopped before she could. He was brutal and rough, taking what he wanted ruthlessly. He was kissing her. However, it was not about affection or love, only lust, and that was it.